Stay riding, yeah. Stay riding, yeah. Stay riding, stay hiding, ain't body, yeah.
What's going on, YouTube? We rolling, man. We rolling westbound through Indiana right now, en route to Loveland, Colorado. So I wanted to make this video, talk about something that I've gone through twice in the last 7 days, which is unusual, highly unusual. I think prior to the last week, I've only dealt with this maybe 2 or 3 times over the 2 years I've been on the road. And that's dealing with dropping hooks, which are normally flawless, in and out, 20 minutes, 30 minutes max. I mean, there's really not much that can go wrong with a dropping hook, and from my experience, the only thing that can possibly go wrong is you get there to drop your load and hook up to an empty, and there's no empty. Doesn't seem like it should be too big of a deal, but it can, because obviously without a trailer you can't get another load. So now you have to play what I call the empty trailer shuffle game. Basically, you gotta contact dispatch and let them know that the 90, the place you just delivered at or dropped the loaded trailer off at, has no empties, and they gotta pretty much figure out a place for you to go pick up one. Now, this can be a very smooth process, or it can become a headache. So the most recent 2 times, which occurred in this past week for me, on the load I picked up. Good Lord. Are you letting me over, bro? Alright, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So I picked up a load to come up out of the house, and of course, right on cue, look at this dude. You come on the highway doing 43, force me to break down and get over, and now you speed up to fucking 70. Piece of shit. Why can't people just merge on the highway correctly? Why do y'all have to do that, man? This dude with these little trailers came on the interstate doing 45 miles an hour, broke my stride, and now he's fucking hauling ass. Why can't you do that to get on the damn highway? My bad, y'all. Didn't mean to go on a little rant there, but this is just something that we deal with out here on the road. This is one of the most frustrating things, is people not knowing how to properly merge onto the highway. The speed limit is 65 currently. You're coming onto the interstate, you need to get up to speed. Don't come over here doing 45, 50, slowing everybody down, and then soon as you get done slowing down everybody else that's already on the highway, you mysteriously find your missing accelerator and go from 45 to 70 in 3 seconds. It made me lose my train of thought with that stupidity. So yeah, picked up the load to go down to pick up my trainee off of Home Time out of Savannah, and we had a load that we were going to drop in Kennesaw, and we get there, dude was like, yeah, we don't have any empties, so just go ahead and drop that, and y'all gonna have to bobtail out. Now, this situation, like I said, it happens rarely, but then when you couple it with the fact of, at least in my case, I think every time this has happened, it's either been at night or on the weekend, which means I had to deal with night/weekend dispatch. And those people, now there are like there are two, maybe 3 guys that will cover the fleet I'm on, and they're pretty good. I don't have a problem with them. But then there are those who are just, I don't even know, man. Like I think that there's some that are just don't know what they're doing. They're incompetent. There are some that just don't care. They're very nonchalant. They just like, yeah, whatever. You know, you tell them your problem. You tell them whatever you're going through. They're like, all right, and they just take their sweet time trying to figure out the next move. And then you have those who are just mad at the world. They answer the phone with attitude. They're very short with their responses. They act like you're like putting a burden on them by contacting them for them to do their job. Like you're getting paid to do a job. What are you getting mad at me for? It's like going into a restaurant or a fast food place and the people taking your order are just pissed off at you. Like, well, what you mad at me for? Bitch, you here to take my order. Take my order with a smile on your face. But when you couple that together, it becomes a very irritating process. So the situation in Georgia, we had the bobtail out. I told the guy, this is what made it more irritating for me, is I told the guy how to handle the situation. Because last time I was in Atlanta and I was in a situation, they had me riding around for like 3 hours trying to find a trailer. Ended up getting the trailer that was broken, so I had to take it. Well, not broken. The battery had died in it, but I picked it up from a service, a repair center or shop. So it was broken, but whatever was wrong with it, they fixed it. But the battery died in the reefer. So then I finally got a trailer 4 hours later. But then I had to go to Petro in Atlanta to get the battery replaced. So it was a long process. But the situation that I just recently dealt with in Kennesaw.
US 6, Des Moines, Indiana 51.
I said, look, dude, we dropped a loaded trailer off at this place, and in this particular place, we also pick up freight up out of here. We drop and hook to pick up loads. So I'm like, just make this a simple process. Get us a load, picking up from the same place. That way we're good. We already dropped the loaded trailer off, so we can just come back and either later on that night or the next day and pick up a loaded trailer to hit the road with. Simple fix. I mean, I gave him the blueprint, I gave him the game plan, and he just went completely off course. Long story short, we ended up sitting still without a trailer for 12 hours pretty much. Then had to get up, drive 70 miles north to get an empty trailer, drive 80-something miles back south to pick up a load, and then drive back the very same direction we had just came from in order to grab the empty trailer. So it was just a big clusterfuck. And then the other night, we bought a load into Hazleton, Pennsylvania out of Dodge City, Kansas. And we get to the drop. Same situation. They don't have, well, okay. They say they don't have any empties, and they were behind schedule. They said that they had loaded trailers that had been dropped over a week ago that they haven't gotten around to unloading yet. So that, on top of the fact that they actually have empty trailers, or had empty trailers on the yard, but they wouldn't allow us to leave with one of them because they needed to load them. So it's like we had to bobtail out, and we ended up lugging up because we were only about 40 miles away from the piston terminal. So we pretty much bobbed up to the piston terminal, lucked up that there was an empty there, was able to grab an empty and go pick up our load the following afternoon. But that's pretty much the only thing that can go wrong with a drop hook that I've experienced. You get to the spot, you drop your trailer, and there's nothing for you to hook up to roll out with. So that's pretty much it, man. That's all this video was about, man. Pretty much the only thing that can go wrong with a drop and hook situation is there's nothing to hook to in order to get back on the road and get another bag and get, keep it pushing. So with that said, man, go ahead and sign out. As always, man. Till next time, y'all be easy.
Stay riding, yeah. Stay riding, yeah. Stay riding.